I wish to speak to you about a principle that has shaped empires, built fortunes, and turned ordinary men and women into legends of their time. It is the principle of relentlessness, the principle of never giving up. It is the power that rises within you when every door is closed, when every friend has vanished, when your resources are gone, and only your spirit remains. All achievement, all earned riches, all success begins with an idea. But that idea alone is not enough. I have seen many men with grand visions, bright minds, and noble intentions, yet they failed. Why? Because they lacked the stamina to persist when the way became hard, and the way always becomes hard. The world does not hand over its treasures to the faint-hearted. It yields only to those who demand success, who stake everything on their dreams, and who refuse, absolutely refuse, to quit. You see, the turning point in the lives of many who succeed comes at the moment of greatest adversity. It is the final blow, the one that would break most, that becomes the call to rise. Let me share a story. There was a man who caught gold fever during the gold rush. He went west and worked tirelessly. After weeks of digging, he struck gold, he secured machinery and returned to the mine, and then nothing. The vein of gold disappeared. He drilled on, hoping to find it again, but he could not. Frustrated and defeated, he gave up. He sold the machinery to a junk man for a few $100s, but that junk man sought advice. He brought in a mining engineer who studied the mine and made a discovery: the vein of gold had merely shifted. The engineer calculated it lay just 3 feet from where the first man had stopped drilling. 3 feet? The junk man drilled forward and struck the mother lode. He became a millionaire. The original miner had failed because he lacked persistence. He quit just before success was in his grasp. How many of us are just 3 feet from gold? How many stop just 1 step before victory? Persistence is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is a habit, a state of mind, a spiritual muscle that grows stronger with use and weakens with neglect. There are 4 simple steps that lead to the habit of persistence: a definite purpose backed by burning desire, a definite plan expressed in continuous action, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, a friendly alliance with 1 or more persons who will encourage you to follow through. No one climbs a mountain without a map, a plan, and a rope. So too must you be prepared when you climb toward your goals. Failure has a voice. It whispers in your ear, "This isn't worth it." It tells you, "You don't have what it takes." It lies. Understand this: temporary defeat is not failure, it is feedback. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Do not curse the obstacles. Welcome them, for they test the depth of your desire and the sincerity of your faith. If success came easily, it would have no value. It is precisely because it must be earned that it becomes precious. You must want success with such passion that it becomes an obsession? Let me remind you of Edwin C. Barnes, the man who determined he would become the business partner of Thomas Edison, not an employee. A partner? He had no money, no influence, no credentials, but he had a burning desire. He traveled to Orange, New Jersey, and presented himself at Edison's office. Edison later recalled that Barnes looked like an ordinary tramp, but there was something in his eyes, determination, that could not be ignored. Barnes did not become a partner that day. He took a job at the lowest rung, but he never lost sight of his purpose. Years passed, and one day opportunity came. Edison developed a new device, the Edison dictating machine. His salesmen were not enthusiastic about it, but Barnes was. He saw his chance and took it. And that is how Edwin C. Barnes became a partner of Thomas Edison, not through wealth, not through luck, through persistence backed by burning desire. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief does not appear overnight. It is nurtured through repetition, through self-suggestion. Each day you must speak to yourself. Affirm your purpose. Envision your success. Say aloud, "I will never quit. I will persist until I succeed. I am relentless in the pursuit of my definite chief aim." Say it until your subconscious accepts it as truth. And when it does, the universe begins to bend in your direction. The crowd will doubt you. The critics will mock you. They will say you are foolish to keep going. Let them speak. The world remembers those who triumph, not those who complain. The Wright brothers were ridiculed. Henry Ford was told he had no understanding of business. Carnegie, Rockefeller, Edison, all of them were told to quit, but they refused. And because they refused, the world changed. There is no success without sacrifice, no reward without struggle. You will be tested, you will fail, you will doubt, but you must rise again. Persistence is the price. It is the toll at the gates of success, and only those willing to pay it may pass through. Begin now to develop the habit. Choose one goal, one mission, and refuse to let go. Start with small acts of discipline. Finish the book you started. Wake up when the alarm rings. Make the call you're avoiding. Each time you follow through, you feed the fire within, and soon the habit becomes part of you. You become the kind of person who does not quit, and when that happens, your success becomes inevitable. Often, when you are most weary, when you have nothing left, the final test appears. It comes dressed as defeat, as rejection, as humiliation, and in that moment, you must choose. Will you surrender your dream, or will you fight for it? The world yields only to those who show no sign of retreat. Stand firm, press forward. One more step, always one more step. I have devoted my life to studying the most successful men of our age, and I tell you this, the difference between failure and triumph is seldom talent. It is seldom luck. The difference is persistence, the refusal to give up, the refusal to let go of one's dream. If you would grow rich in money, in joy, in spirit, then you must become relentless. So decide now. Say to yourself, I will never give up, I will never stop, I will persist until I succeed. And in time the world will echo back to you, well done.